Okay, succeeded in jury-rigging the broken thing. But maybe if I can stand this up a little higher, you can actually see what's going on. Well, now I can't see if you can see. No, that's where we're at. Okay, so we've completed outfitting the entire party with all their sweet loot, dividing up the cash, or rather, making a communal pile of cash, and buying a wagon, 11 sleeping bags, 2 horses, and enough rations to last each character 10 days. I've decided rations are probably meat pies. I don't remember what they're called. And I can't see it because I'm using the phone to record. So we used a random name generator for the name of the war band, which tragically, they are the Naughty Horde. But we're here. It's now, the current time in-game is the Forgotten Realms calendar is Chess 19th, the spring equinox. It is the last night of the full moon, evening time for the players, for the characters, because the moon wouldn't be out during the day. And we are going to do the Doomsday Clock for Morkborg, because that's fun. When will all this agony end? In 54 years of pain. And miseries will happen when we hit a 1. And we'll figure that out if it happens. We're using a D100, so I don't know how long that will take. But, alright, our most likely party leaders are Neruzru and Shoemaker, because they're the only ones who actually have an intelligence score. Excuse me, presence. We're playing Morkborg, it's presence. But let's get on with it. We are jumping into the intro adventure for Storm King's Thunder, which is Chapter 1, A Great Upheaval, Nightstone. For various reasons, the party has decided to drive their wagon to Nightstone. I'm not worried about why right now. And after following the trail for 10 miles, hear the ringing of a bell. Sound grows louder as Nightstone comes into view. River flows around the settlement, forming a moat. The village is contained within a wooden palisade. And apart from the ringing of the bell, detect no other activity. Trail ends before a lowered drawbridge that spans the moat. South of the village is a flat-topped hill. Stands a stone keep enclosed by a wooden wall. The keep is partially collapsed, and the wooden bridge which connected the keep to the village has also partially collapsed. Okay, sweet. So it's a Mott and Bailey castle, and first neato check of the day is a character can try to make a check to notice tracks around the drawbridge. Does anyone bother? No. We're busy going to investigate. Because we're here for adventure, not checking people's footprints. Okay, the watchtowers are so tall with roofs. Inside each is a wooden ladder leading to the roof. We have observed to see, where's C? That's the other side of the village. We probably wouldn't see that. 4B, 5, and 3 are the most likely things to be noticed. Oh. 2D is... Where's 2D? also on the opposite side of the village. Okay. This is all kinds of out of order. Okay, so wargs. Oh, I didn't check the weather. Okay, it's spring, the first day of spring. So, how is the springtime weather? 53. Warm and windy. It occurred to me after divvying up the loot and purchasing items that I bought a bunch of torches and a lighter for one of the characters if they end up in a legit dungeon, but one of the other characters already had a lantern, so kind of silly, but again, it's where we're at. Okay, wargs. Do we have... Well, that's why I was checking the weather, because... Well... That's not good. How about... I don't think we have a stat for a warg. I guess I should have checked over and pulled up these descriptions before getting started. We will use something else. That is really hard to read. Perchance a heckhound? Or we'll try page 126 for legit wolves. Oh, okay. We'll use the Winter Wolf stat block from this. Do they notice us? Is that a 1? No, and we can get the jump on them. I assume we're not trying to escape or sneak around. Are we trying to sneak? I think it's unlikely. So we'll roll twice to see what our party's thinking. Our leaders are... Naruzru has a habit of cowardice, and Shoemaker is ferocious. So that doesn't help a thing. So we'll just take it, make a straight roll. 3, no, but. Okay, we're not trying to fight them, but we're ready for action. So we see the wargs. We're not particularly interested in dealing with them right now. Okay, 5 and 4B. What's 5? The temple. Dedicated to Lathander and Miliki. Front door is wide open, bell is ringing. Okay, so we're investigating this, I guess. I'm not going to roll for every single thing. That'd be silly. Who's leading? Probably someone sturdy. I assume Shoemaker and Naruzru wouldn't lead the way. I think Hiragorn the Goliath would probably be up front because of armor and sword. But he's not really the heftiest dude. Drooby is pretty hefty and is a good dodge. And so is Simone. None of them are particularly... Calm Harley. That has a reach weapon. So we'll let Hiragorn take the lead and anyone else can follow behind. Figure it out when it's necessary. Oh. So there are 2 goblins, which I'm assuming we would want to murderize. I think it likely. Yeah, we'll take it as a likely that, yeah, we're going to get the jump on these 2 rando gobbos. Well, you know what happens when the author's name is Goblin? It trips up what happens when you search Goblin in a PDF. I wonder if you can hear that clicking. Okay, I think they are all sneaks, so... what? Okay, I'm not sure how to deal with that. There are 2 goblins. I assume we attack. We do have to jump on them because they're busy swinging from the rope for the bell, which is why the bell is ringing incessantly. I almost wish I had sound effects just so I could have that bell ringing for a minute until these things die. Since we have the jump on them, Hiragon will get his first swing in. With his sword, Hiragon gets a natural 20 and murderizes a goblin. Because the goblins only have 3 HP. This says their only armor is a shield, but I don't know that either of them would be using that. They would have a dagger and sling. Oh, a slingshot. That would be useful. And this says in the manual that if a goblin... Oh, if a goblin hits, not if a goblin is hit. Okay, cool. Does not matter. So that was Hiragon. We'll let Drewby and Simone do their thing. Okay, Drewby. Contact and kill. So we now have 2 daggers, 2 slings, and 2 shields. This is legit. Drewby can take a shield, and does anyone actually have a score for the sling? I guess that would go to the priest and Neruzru, since they're the only ones who could really use that. Look, I'm about to check the thing, check the manuals, and find out that the sling is the only weapon that doesn't actually use presence. Only ranged weapon. Okay, so we have plenty of time. So that was that. They had sweet loot. One of them hijacked has a sack with 3 blocks of incense. Which altogether is worth 5. The other one had a silver symbol of Maliki worth 25. Probably don't sell that back to this place. And some random junk. 3 empty vials, and the poor box has 1 silver, which is us rounding up to the nearest what we can actually use because we're only using the silver standard. Okay, let's see, that was 5, so 6 would be the graveyard. Is this useful? Narrow footpaths meander among the graves. And okay. Well, we are after sweet loot. I assume we would want to. Are we breaking open a crypt? Yeah, we are. Who has that? That would be... Who has that? Hakon has the crowbar, so he's the one breaking open the crypt. The bell's no longer ringing. I don't know if that's going to affect things. Cracking the door requires a crowbar. Inside is a stone bier with a wooden coffin. Easily pried open, scatter skeletal remains, and burial shroud of Lord Dreslin Nander, the village founder, who died 1 year ago. Contains nothing useful. And no reason to jack the skeleton, so that event doesn't happen. And the other graveyard is not important. It occurred to me we have a wagon, so I think those wargs would probably attack. So I should have resolved that first, but I kind of forgot we had a wagon. Okay, since we don't actually have a warg stat block, then for now we'll use the Winter Wolf, which have HP of 13, a morale of 7, and a bite. What does that mean? What power? Oh, I don't think that's important. Pack. If this is fighting adjacent to 2 other wolves, they have a higher... it's harder to dodge them. Well, there's only 2 of these guys. They bite for a d6, and they have no armor. I'm okay with this. So we come out of the graveyard and discover that the wargs have realized that there's a wagon with horses. Horses don't like wolves. So we'll roll initiative normally. The wolves go first. Will they go for the horses or for us? I think 50-50. We'll roll 1 through 3 as horses. Nope, they're coming after us. So the first one will go for Hiragorn. Natural 20 to dodge, so he gets to make a free attack, but fails. The other one will go after, who did we say? Probably Drewby. He is short. Drewby is short. Makes the dodge, fails, natural 1. We're going to break that shield to nope that immediately. Well, we had a shield, we lost a shield. These things happen. But now the enemy is grossly outnumbered. Like 5 to 1. Hiragorn deals 2 damage with his sword. Drewby with his short sword deals 3 damage. Okay, that's, whoops, and it's gone. I should get a dice box or something. Hakon will get in there because he has the best damage dealing ability and deals 6 damage with the long sword. But who was he after? We'll go back and forth. 6 brings this guy down to half health. The first warg is bloodied. Who has a melee weapon? An up-close and personal weapon. Simone and Spark. Okay, Simone with the short sword. Contact for 1. Something's more than nothing. Spark with the hand axe. Contact for 2. Down to 3. That puts our reach dudes up. So we'll do Danko. Miss. Emmy with the spear. Miss. And not Alex. Oh, Calm Harley with the trident. Miss. We did Hakon, we did Spark, we did Drewby, we did Simone. So next up is our ranged dudes. We'll do Neruser with the sling. Contact for 1. We'll do Shoemaker with another sling. Natural 1. Oh. Okay. Just a horrid miss. And then Mundane Alex with the bow. Miss. And you're short an arrow. Now these guys go off again. The 3 HP one will go after our Goliath. He met natural 20s again. Okay, he's pretty good at parrying. Oh, and he kills it with the parry. Okay, the next one goes after... Who was he going after? Drewby. Drewby makes the dodge. Okay, Drewby, with your short sword, won't you lead our sleigh tonight? Bringing it down to 2 HP. We'll let Haragorn get in there with his sword, but he misses. Simone with a short sword. Miss. Spark with a hand axe. Contact for 2, killing it. Wait, yeah. Cool. That was... He probably should have checked morale. No, I don't think he had time. Okay, we're up to 20 minutes. Can we get any further in this adventure? Was there anything useful here? The town square is a muddy, open area with a rando hole that's 5 foot deep right in the middle of it. Covered well. Other features, empty wooden cart. Random posts. Oh, and there's a couple of signs IDing the inn and the Lion Shield Coster trading post. Would we like to visit either of those? I don't know that it changes anything, so we'll just go straight to the inn, which is area 8. Nightstone Inn. Okay, this room is strewn with... The dining room is strewn with wreckage. A huge rock punched the roof and landed here, destroying a table and benches. Remains of a bed and wardrobe from the upstairs room are in there as well. You know, they really could have written this a little more. Some brevity, I think. Characters can hear someone rummaging around in the kitchen. Okay. Oh, unlit oil lamps. 2 small tables. So we have obtained 2 oil lamps. Should I assume that they have something in them? Yes. On the floor in the middle of the room is a dead goblin. Okay, but does the goblin have sweet loot? I'm gonna just say no. Does anyone notice? No. But where something's up. Okay. In the kitchen, a goblin named Gum Gum and stuffing edibles in a sack that's bigger than she is. What? Oh, neat. I think the cash value of things between editions of D&D and different versions of tabletop games is not the same. But here we go. There's a goblin named Gum Gum who's stealing sweet loot, mostly food. And how do we confront her? Since Haragorn is leading, he's noble. Would he like to interact peaceably? No, but he does want to interact. Intimidate? Absolutely not. Murder. Look, man, we're running out of options. Make friends? Yes, but what? I think I should have just gone with my first thought, which was murderize the goblin. Does he want the pile? Does he want the sack? No. Does he want info? Yes. He wants to know where everyone is. No. No? Info on what happened? Yes. Can the goblin tell him that? Would the goblins know that? Would the goblins actually know that? Oh. Neat. Okay, so Gum Gum can tell Haragorn that the villagers are in the caves and that they would probably know that there was an attack. A giant attack. As in giants attack the village. Do we want to let the goblin go? Yeah, sure. Can we take that stuff? I think it's likely. Yes, but only the stuff that's actually useful. So we probably keep the food and the stuff that's worth money. And the flasks of oil. 2 oil flask. Don't think we need those. How about the rando jug that's somehow worth more than quite a bit of things around here? And an hourglass that's worth 25 if it's repaired. Yeah, I don't care. We're at 26 minutes. What comes next? If we check out the inn owner's room, there is an iron chest that requires thieves' tools. And who has thieves' tools? I know someone does. Spark has thieves' tools. We also have a crowbar. Yeah. Spark fails. But if we take long enough, would we succeed? No. Because stuff happens, I guess. I don't know. So crowbar it is. So Hakon has the crowbar. He pops it open, I guess. It says it's an iron chest and that there's a lock, built-in lock. But can we pop it open? I don't know why we wouldn't be able to, so I'll assume it's probably yes. Yeah, of course we can. I don't even know why I'm rolling. Also, I want loot. Okay, a suit of chain sized for a dwarven helmet, and a leather bag that has 45s and 2 gemstones worth 100. And 2 gemstones each worth 100. Why would you have that? And we'll skip the potion because I don't know what it does. Vacant bedroom, oil lamp, bearskin rug. I'm obtaining the bearskin rug so we can decorate our wagon. It needs sweet loot. 2 more oil lamps. Oh, okay. We have 2 bearskin rugs and 2 oil lamps. We have more oil lamps than we have oil. We're up to 29 minutes, so we'll mark that we completed there. Equal 8F. Okay, cool. So that's that. It wasn't particularly exciting, but our party has made it into Nightstone, and that means we are officially in the campaign now. I'm not sure how things will go from here. Obviously, 11 characters versus 2 goblins, 1 goblin, or 2 crazy sauce dogs isn't particularly amazing, but hey, look at that. Haragorn didn't murder everything on sight. So we're doing good. All right, that's the 30-minute mark. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.